Who plays Ed Oliver on the scout team for you?
Gosh, we have several guys, but we're doing some good on good and having Derek Bowles and Parker Zellers go and do some one-on-one blocking. He's a freak. I said that yesterday or Sunday, but he's a great player.
Besides him, obviously they return a lot of guys in defense. When you look at their roster and talent overall, do you see a quote-unquote group of five level?
Oh yeah,
I think a Power Five level.
I see Power Five talent. I think sometimes they get labeled. I don't know why that they don't think there's great players on so-called Power Fives. They've got some of the best players in the country. What do you want to call them? No matter what you want to call them.
Coach, this is completely off topic, but as ever since you've been a head coach, has music always been part of your practice routine?
No, I don't know. Well, it's probably because I've been doing it so long. I don't remember ever playing music in my younger days. But I think a couple years into the West Virginia thing, it became more of a, we would play crowd noise and all that, and we started doing that. Now it's not. It's part of the beginning of practice and part when we do, when we have break time. But that's part of the kids' culture now. You don't, very rarely do you see them walking around in free time not having their headsets in. So we probably should do the music more often, as far as when the offense has the ball and trying to distract them a little bit.
Has it always been hip hop?
No, it mixes. I think it's the playlist is supposed to be all inclusive, but most of the guys, they're pretty similar in their taste of music. I like Pandora, and I go from Eagles radio to Prince radio, and it gives me everything I want. Those are two great stations. If you got Eagles and Prince radio, you're in good shape.
And do you mind if they dance, and do you notice them dancing like before the game and pregame routines?
Oh, they do. Yeah, I don't care if it helps them loosen up. I don't know. They can dance all they want as long as they keep their focus. I don't pay too much attention to that stuff.
What did you think of the offensive line's performance in the game Saturday night?
I thought they played hard. The effort was good. Fundamentally, we had a few things to pick up. Assignment-wise, there was a couple busts here and there, but Jim usually makes sure they're pretty assignment sound. But we've got to get better fundamentally at times, and sometimes it's because they want to be so aggressive that their technique will fail them a little bit because they just want to go out and hit somebody. And so they're a very, very conscientious group. That's why we know we got to get better this week. This is going to be a whole little different challenge for them for sure.
You've talked a lot about how you want to recruit Texas now. What was it that flipped the switch for you that made you realize, okay, we need to get back in there?
It was a mistake on my part, just saying, okay, we're, folks in Texas or other areas that are not traditional West Coast don't really know Arizona, won't come here for a visit. And I think that's true for some guys, but I think we got too good of a place to be too close-minded with that. And so with that in mind, and when I hired the guys, I wanted to hire a couple guys that had some Texas recruiting ties, and we're going to go in there because even though it's heavily recruited, there's so many good football players, and football's so important to them that we can still recruit the West Coast, yet expand our recruiting base a little bit.
How's the reception been so far?
It's been good. We did a couple satellite camps over there. We've got some guys that are committed to us. We've got a lot of guys that we're still recruiting, and Texas is going to be important for everybody, but once a few guys come here and they have success and they'll tell their teammates about it and all that, I think it'll continue to snowball.
Is this a good game to have recruiting eyes on because it is Houston?
I think a little bit. I think sometimes I've always thought that the who you play as far as the recruiting aspect of it is a little bit probably overrated unless you're playing like the Alabama-Florida State feature game of the whole country. Then you get a lot of attention. When you have game day here like we've had a couple years ago, you get a lot of attention. Those games get a little more eyeballs. But who you're playing, where they're from, I don't think is as relevant.
How many different schools' film have you had to watch to prepare for their defense, who their quarterback might be, etc.?
Yeah, you don't really know a quarterback, and there's no film to trade. And they've got all new coordinators, so you got to look at what they did last year, certainly. Got to look at where their coordinators were at, what they've done before. And so it's a busier, I guess, menu to look at than normal at this point.
How has the quarterback play been this week in practice? And that's something you mentioned yesterday that you really wanted to focus on.
Our quarterback play? Yeah, it's been good. Brandon is continue to get better. The young guys are taking reps. There's a lot, sometimes I forget that Rhett and Donovan in particular are true freshmen. But they've got a really good grasp for as far as true freshmen, that's for sure. And Khalil is there's more in the playbook that he understands as well. So I'm pleased with their progress.
Are you getting concerned at all about the depth at tight end?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, Jamie Nunley's back this week. That's going to be nice because Jamie was in great shape and brings us another weapon there. So I think we'll be okay there.
What is Mark D'Onofrio? What are his tendencies as a defensive coordinator?
Well, whatever I thought or what he was, I wouldn't share it. Right? So, yeah, we're still figuring that out.
Is there any update on DeAndre at this point? Miller?
Well, you get an injury report on Friday or Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Overall, what do you want to see get better? Just what are some things you want to see improve?
Well, defensively, there's a lot of areas that we could get better at. Mostly fundamentally, technique-wise, and we certainly, you can point to getting some stops and 3 and outs, but there's some technique things that we've got to get cleaned up a little bit and not and play a little bit more aggressively at times, not from a physical standpoint, but from our guys. I think were so afraid to get beat, they were just lining up in a spot and staying there. So I think we'll work hard on that this week.